welcome to this special Info Hub edition focusing on the sugar industry. In our headlines, Prime Minister calls for unity and end to race baiting. High-level ministerial teams meet sugar workers to discuss the way forward. And Enmore Sugar Estate being targeted by several potential investors. Stay tuned for the details of these and more. And now for the details. Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu, at recent meetings held at the Rose Hall and Skeldon estates, emphasized the need for sugar workers and the government to collaborate to find solutions to the industry's challenges.
If we quarrel, if we row, we will not find an answer. We have to work together.
Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu led a delegation to meet with former sugar workers and stakeholders at Skeldon and Rose Hall to discuss their severance pay and other plans government has in place to provide assistance for those affected. He reiterated that the government's position is not to end sugar production, but rather to reform the industry to a state of sustainability and profitability.
We are not shutting down the sugar industry. Gaisuko will remain in sugar. It will concentrate on the estates that are productive.
Sugar workers were assured that they will begin receiving their severance payments on Tuesday, January 30th. For workers who are owed $500,000 or less, they will receive 100% of their severance, and for those who are required to be paid over that amount will receive 50% on the said date. Gabriela Patram for InfoHub.
The Prime Minister also said opposition claims of racial bias in the closure of sugar estates is mischievous and must be stopped.
How can you try to divide people? All of you are people, all of us are Guyanese. And we all are looking to find a solution for this mess.
The Prime Minister added that the estates which are being retained are in predominantly East Indian areas. He questioned the logic of the opposition's arguments.
I don't believe Granger and Nagamutu, because of racial reason, we are protecting and saving 3 factories and estates with 5 sugar-producing areas.
The Prime Minister says that government has made a determined effort to curtail the number of persons affected by the reorganization. He maintains that the reorganization was necessitated by the previous government's mismanagement of the industry.
11,000 workers' jobs are being protected by the action we have taken to provide more funds in addition to the 32 billion. Gaisuko used up every single cent that it has sold sugar for. Between 1992 and 2015, it used up $260 billion. And we know that a lot of incompetence, mismanagement, which Gawu used to point out. When Komal Chan pointed out that in 2010, that there was mismanagement, square pegs in wrong hole, and that friends were being put, politicians were put to run the sugar industry. They said they will de-recognize Gawu. Mr. Jagdeo said he will de-recognize Gawu.
The Prime Minister led a team comprising Minister of Agriculture Noel Holder and Minister within the Ministry of Finance Jaipal Sharma to Skeldon to meet with the redundant workers and stakeholders of the sugar industry yesterday. Gabriela Patram for InfoHub.
Minister within the Ministry of Natural Resources, Simona Brooms, said she was taken aback by the conditions under which sugar workers were forced to carry out their daily duties at the Enmore estate. Details from Alexis Rodney.
Delivering a passionate presentation to the sugar workers, Minister within the Ministry of Natural Resources, Simona Brooms, spoke of her own commitment to sugar workers and all citizens of Guyana. She reminded of her very first visit to the Enmore factory back in 2015 and how taken aback she was by the working conditions.
When I came here, why I said I was sad, because on the inspection, men came to me in tears. The media was here, so it's not a lie. Men came to me in tears from the boiler section. I was there. He said the heat is so much, and I have to go with a stick to fix it for it to work. I said, and what are you working in this department with? He said, the clothes that I wear.
According to Minister Brooms, her visit led her to the backlands of the estate, which also revealed broken down bridges and poor infrastructure, conditions which she said are major contributors to fatalities.
The most accidents and accidents that is recorded within this country is in the sugar industry. When the reports come out, chapter to foot, chapter to this, chapter to that, over 500 and something. I stood there and I saw in the factory, men came before me. They have to pack the sugar on their backs. And for what cost? Men came and they reported that I paid my money. And when it's time come, it was lost.
According to Brooms, she remains first a Guyanese and then a minister of government, and is therefore aware of the pain and frustration of workers who are looking for the right answers.
I understand the frustration. I understand to whom I speak to today. But I want to tell you that all of us, it is not me. It's my colleagues over there. It's His Excellency, it's the Prime Minister. We all pledge to serve you all.
Alexis Rodney for InfoHub.
Throughout next week, some 1,600 retrenched sugar workers will receive their severance. Some of them shared their views with InfoHub.
My name is Vanetta Sinclair, and I've been working with Guyana since 2009, and I'm happy that I'm collecting my severance. Thank you.
How do you feel after the meeting?
I feel happy.
How long have you worked at Gaisuku, and are you happy that you're receiving your severance next week?
Yeah, we happy with the severance. Yeah, nice.
How long have you worked at Gaisuku?
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Thank you. Former worker.
Yes, I'm an operator at the estate.
Okay, and
Yeah.
you guys are going to be receiving severance.
Well, I don't know if Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe 1 or 2 days. But we will be receiving severance.
But you guys are happy that you are getting back something after?
Well, I'm happy I'm getting my payment for the job that I've been provided. But eventually, that little payment or that severance that I'll be collecting will finish. Right? It will finish. They will accommodate that it will finish. Money come and goes. Everybody knows that. Right?
No,
but now we getting no income. That is a problem. We get no income. That money will finish. We want to know when or as soon as possible they can get the private investors to come in and look into it.
Because a lot of it depends on the estate.
And now we getting to hear what the Prime Minister said about the private investors, and I feel that opposition should come together and be one. Right? Stop this Indian and East Indian and Afro-Guyanese thing. Stop this thing. No racialism. This is Guyana for everybody, not for one person alone, for everybody.
And I'm very happy how the minister come and disclose that we be having our severance on Tuesday, starting. Because from the time I received my redundancy, I didn't work. And I'm glad how I get the news.
How long have you worked at Gaisuku?
Well, I've been since 2000 with Gaisuku. 2003, matter of fact. And having 3 kids, I'm the only breadwinner there. My children depend on me, and I'm glad what happened today. Thank you.
Minister of Business Dominic Gaskin said the decline did not begin overnight, and it was unfair that the workers have to face the brunt of the negligence.
It is not the fault of the workers that Gaisuku has found itself in trouble. Bad decisions, bad investments, bad leadership, and bad management have brought Gaisuku to where it is today. This has happened over decades. It is not new. The decline didn't just start.
Minister Gaskin asked for patience from the workers as the coalition government's plans take effect. He reminded that government has set aside some $100 million for startup business loans, and training for alternative jobs will be done with the Small Business Bureau.
And already the Small Business Bureau, knowing of the situation, has been targeting sugar workers for training, for workshops that can teach sugar workers the basic aspects of running businesses, of creating basic business plans, of being able to access financing and bank loans, etc. The Small Business Bureau has also been granted a 100 million Guyana dollars to start up, to establish a revolving loan fund. And that fund will be used to target the most vulnerable and, of course, those who have just lost their jobs.
The minister reminded that this government values the workers of Guyana because without them, there would be no economic growth. Minister Gaskin also assured that there will be jobs available over the next decade as Guyana economy begins to grow rapidly. Gabriela Patram for InfoHub.
There are many viable business opportunities present as investors show their interest to fund Enmore Sugar Estate. Minister of Public Telecommunications Catherine Hughes told sugar workers. Here is this report.
This was the encouragement that was delivered to the retrenched sugar workers during a ministerial outreach on Friday. Citing the example of the food chain Pollo Tropical, Minister Hughes said that there is greater need to grow more of Guyana's rich fruit and vegetables and livestock. According to a representative from Pollo Tropical she met.
Pollo Tropical cannot get enough plantain. They cannot get enough cassava. You check their menu. They are not interested in regular fries. For too long in this country, we each try to do it on our own. And so when the man said to you, I need a container plantain, you say, oh God, I can't do that.
Special Projects Unit Representative Sean Prasad disclosed that the estate is set to be leased to either a local or international company.
We have actually advertised Enmore, Rosehorse, Skeldon, and even Wales to the wider world to say that these estates are up for divestment. And as a result, we received over 70 interests that who international investors as well as local investors are interested in these estates.
The SPU is currently in the process of negotiating with interested companies who are currently submitting reports for sugarcane-based business ventures.
We are in advanced talk with investors. In the interim, whilst we are waiting to find the right buyer for the estate, the investors have shown an indication that they are willing to provide the finance to keep Enmore Estate running and hopefully in the first crop of 2018.
From Enmore Estates, Zanil Williams for InfoHub.
Thanks for watching. Connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.